Okay? I'm gonna have one point in my speech, and this is why amateur porn is so much worse than professional porn, and why we're gonna have way more amateur porn on after the proposal, therefore we should pause. But first I'm gonna go for 3 points of view. Okay? Firstly, they're saying, look, the porn industry don't care about aesthetics and stuff. Literally, 2 years ago, the entire porn industry in the US stopped for a couple months. There was no filming because a couple players were caught with STDs. Okay? They didn't know the source for it, so they stopped all of the filming to make sure no one else gets infected. Okay? They do care about STDs being spread to the predator themselves. Okay? Also, government side so cares about education and how to prevent STDs. If you care so much about education, you should increase the sexual education in schools, not in porn, okay? I'm going to show you why porn is not that effective in education, okay? Lastly, luckily, professional porn is clearly an act, and therefore we don't go outside and try to imitate every way of it, and we don't go outside and try to lay every woman we see by pinning her down and fucking her. Okay? So we know that it's a fantasy, we know it's not real, we clearly see that it's an act, and that's how professional porn is also different from amateur porn, and I'll get to it in my speech, okay? So going on to my first point, I'm going to prove to you why we're going to have way more amateur porn, okay? People know that porn is a fantasy, they search it, and they don't want condoms in their fantasies, okay? They already used a standard for when condoms are not in porn, and you cannot retract that fantasy back to where it was when condoms were everywhere and say that people will see it now and say, okay, fine, okay? No, people will see it as anesthetic, will see it as something that ruined the act, that ruined the fantasy that they are searching from. Therefore, people will search for other resources to find that fantasy that we want to know. We'll find the act that they're used to searching, okay? They used to search to a certain level of porn and they will still get it, okay? Where will they get it? They get it from the places that are not under enforcement, okay? Places like the amateurs. People buying a camera like this one and filming by themselves. It does not mean that they film only themselves, okay? They can still go to the streets and make like a couple $100 for someone to play their movie for them, therefore increasing the risk for everything, and I will get to it in my point, okay? But they are free to make whatever they want, and honestly, we can't reach them, okay? Like a company, you clearly know where it is, okay? You can like go with the law enforcement and sell, okay, you broke the law, but someone just using a camera, go figure it out, okay? So it will be much, much harder to find them. It will be only them who do the acts that people are looking for. Therefore, it will be much more likely that people will watch amateur porn instead of professional porn, okay? And it's given huge benefit to amateur industry that we will not get otherwise, okay? And now, 3 reasons why the amateur porn is worse off than the professional porn. One, we already stated that professional porn industry check for STDs regularly, okay? Amateurs do not care if they don't have the resources, nor do they have the medical supervision on the actors. They simply go out and hunt for women who are willing to participate in a movie for like $300, okay? That's like still a sin in the porn, and it will grow on further, okay? It will not be a professional porn actors as is in today, as it will be a random hookers that will go up from the streets and far more likely to carry STDs, okay? So on that matter, we're actually doing worse off to the porn industry that government cares about, okay? Also, note that the porn actors themselves has far better conditions when they're working for a professional company that also get to them to the social benefits of having worked in a serious place and not like hookers that you can take from the streets, pay her once, and then drop her off somewhere else. Okay? On the educational level, this is the third point. Okay? Notice that when you're watching a professional porn video, it is quite clear that it's fake, okay? There's everyone clean and tight, and everything is like well filmed, and the fantasy itself is like not real. But when you're watching amateur porn, it gives you a much more real vibe, okay? the camera is not in the right angles all the time, and the players are not perfect as much, and it gives much more real vibe to the fantasy you look for. You can inside to look for the fantasy for the act, but you go out and think, it might not be that fake anymore, okay? It may be more real than what I used to see in porn these days. What making it look fake is using the condom in professional porn, okay? So actually what you're trying to achieve, you get the opposite. You make the condom use look fake in the professional porn, and without the condom, the creepies and all that, you make it look more real in the amateur porn that will people now take much more. Yes, first up.
Yes, so there are many types of fantasies, and there is not enough amateur porn, and they do not have the resources to mimic them successfully. My fantasy is closer if they use a bit of rubber than if they do not have the ability to really make what I want to see.
Okay. Firstly, I do not agree with you that they cannot mimic that, okay? Obviously, you do not know the depth of porn in the internet. There is something to everyone and from everywhere, okay? Secondly, we say that, look, there are certain acts that you are now forbidden in usual porn. For example, creepies. You cannot come inside a woman now because you're using a condom, okay? And people that are looking for that kind of acts, it's widely popular, okay? So they will go and make that demand from somewhere else. It's quite easy to make that scene possible in amateur porn, therefore you harming the benefits that you try to achieve yourself, okay? So what you're saying is in basic level that this will harm both the porn actors, okay, that will now work on amateurs, porn studios, amateurs environments rather than professional, also harm the people on the streets who are far more likely to perceive condoms as fake and to go out and catch STDs, and therefore we showed you actually harming and damages from this proposal, unlike opening opposition who just said like it's not legitimate, okay? Therefore we call you to oppose.